Purify thyself. Realize thyself. Purify thyself. Realize thyself. These are the two things which we are called to do. These are the two things which we can do. We have the opportunity to do. We can purify thyself, the self with a little s, the body-mind. We can purify the body. We can purify the mind. And then we can realize the self with a capital S. Now, I am not saying that you need to purify the self to realize the self. There's nothing you have to do prior to the realization of the self. It can just happen. Sometimes it happens for people who aren't even trying to do it. They might not even know about the self with the capital S. They might not even be consciously on a spiritual path. And yet, for some reason, or for no reason at all, they wake up. They realize the self. Realizing the self is the dharma of every human being on the planet. You might say that there is at least an intellectual realization of what the self is, an understanding that we are more than the body, we are more than the mind. We are that space in which the body and the mind appear. Even to realize that intellectually is so amazing and so great and so helpful. It can reduce so much suffering for the body-mind. And if that intellectual understanding has occurred, then yes, I would say it's true that there is more likelihood that the full realization, the full awakening can happen, will happen. Nisargadatta said, once the seed of self-realization is planted, it will blossom and bear fruit. Once we hear about enlightenment, once we hear the good news about self-realization, awakening, liberation, once we hear that others have done it, that others have woken up, this is the good news. Once we realize that it's a possibility, the end of suffering is a possibility. We don't have to suffer. Once we realize that, even intellectually, that is a great first step, a large leap down the spiritual path. And of course, there is no path, really. Because what you are realizing is already here. It's always been here. It's what you've always been. It has no birth. It has no death. It does not come. It does not leave. It is eternal. Eternally present. And it is you. It is the you-less you. The you without a you. It is your true nature. It is your birthright. Every human being has that potential, that possibility of realizing what they are, what they really are. All forms of awakening are beautiful. All forms of realization are helpful. Anytime ignorance is dispelled, anytime the darkness is dissolved by the presence of the light, that's a beautiful thing. That is a miracle. That is a miracle. Do not take it for granted. Gratitude arises when we see how beautiful this realization is. The awakening of the relative and the awakening of the absolute, both beautiful, wonderful. Both are so beneficial to the one who feels they are suffering. so we can reduce our suffering. Is that not what this is all about? It is and it's not, actually. It's not just about reducing suffering. Because even that which you are is open to suffering. Because that which you are is open to everything. It is openness itself, you see. Without any preference or distinction. It is open space itself, and therefore it allows everything to appear and everything to disappear. It does not hold. In fact, it is not able to hold on to anything. It has no hands to hold on to with. It is purely open space, and all types of weather are allowed to pass through. So, along this path, it does seem, though, it does appear for many people that suffering arises, and then there is a desire to end that suffering. That arises too. Suffering and the desire to end suffering. They both arise pretty much simultaneously. So there are many different ways to reduce suffering. One is to purify the self. And I say that with a lowercase s, meaning purify the body-mind. There are many beautiful, wonderful ways to purify the body-mind. Exercise, yoga, tai chi, meditation, fasting, vegan diet, abstaining from alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, taking a walk in nature, refraining from harsh music or violent movies. There's a way to purify the mind. Reading holy scriptures, reading sacred literature. Now, even though I'm maybe sounding puritanical to you, that's not exactly what I'm saying, though. Because again, what you are is openness itself. It's equanimity. It's accepting pain and pleasure. It's accepting everything, all multiplicity, all duality. It's accepting it equally. And yet, even though that is true, it's okay, of course, to say that I'm going to try to do what I can to reduce my suffering. I'm going to purify myself, but I'm not going to do it in a judgmental way. I'm not going to go to war with my body or with my mind. There's no judgment. Sometimes, let's say you're at a loud, crowded, noisy place. Sometimes you just merely want to walk out of the building. It's just a little bit too much. There's no judgment. There doesn't have to be. There's just a desire. A desire for silence. A desire for peace. That's all. It's a simple, pure, innocent, beautiful desire. And so that desire for peace arises, and we decide, I'm leaving this situation. I don't want to be around this kind of stimulation, or this kind of distraction, or this kind of dullness. It could be anything. And in that sense, there is a desire for purity, for a pure space, for a peace. Many times, for sure, especially after the holidays even, we might find ourselves feeling like, whew, I've just been eating whatever I wanted. And I ate a lot of things that maybe don't feel so good to my body. Okay, so I did it. It's done. It's in the past. In this moment, there is a desire to feel better. To not feel so heavy, so dull. To choose more sattvic foods instead of tamasa rajas. Lighter foods. So we make that choice. We purify the self. We purify the body-mind. And we also realize the self. What is that which is aware of the body-mind? And of course that is awareness itself. Awareness is one of my favorite words. Awareness does not change. It is the changeless. It is what is natural. It's what is always present. Awareness.